Alright, this video is going to be a request by one of my subscribers. His name is Dirty Sprite. Big shout out to Dirty Sprite, man. He's been always supporting me. He's on my clubs on PlayStation 4 Pro. And big shout out to Dirty Sprite, man. He's a pretty cool dude. That's all I gotta say. I wish that everybody was like him, honestly. Be a much better world. So anyway, and of course, Mr. Struders, and there's so many, all 10,000 of you, man, like stellar, awesome, cool fellas. And some ladies too. Okay, I cannot just say fellas. There's some ladies in there as well. Okay. So let's go ahead. Let's see how many 4K movies do I have. Let's line them up. I'll get them a little bit closer for you guys, okay? Well, let me adjust my tripod here. Like that. Let me get my camera out from the tripod and let me put it like this. I think you guys might be able to see me. Look, that's me over there. I don't know if you guys can see me. Can you? Yeah, I think you guys can see me. There I am, right there. Maybe not. Anyway, so let's continue with this turning into a half-ass video. Sorry, Dirty Sprite. My bad. All right, there we go. So let me count how many of these movies do I have. Let me see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 25, 26. So I got 26 4K movies, which is pretty good for somebody who calls himself a Mr. 4K upscaler, all right? That's a pretty good deal. All right, so let's start with The Arrival. You know, I haven't done a review on this yet. As a matter of fact, as you can see, I haven't even opened it yet. I haven't even watched it yet. So I will do a review on this, because there has been a lot of requests that I do a review on this movie, The Arrival, so that'll be done. Hacksaw Ridge, there has been a lot of requests that I do a review on this as well. And there has been another movie, I think somebody asked me to do either Battleship or Resident Evil. Why don't you guys leave me a bunch of requests, like what movies did you want me to review? Because I forgot, there was another movie, somebody... by Ang Lee. It's like a war movie in Iraq, and Vin Diesel was in it a little bit. I forgot the name of the movie. It's about some soldier. He's 16 years old, and he joined blah, 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 and all this other stuff. I don't know, the entire movie. I haven't really heard that much about that film, honestly, so I don't know if it's good or not, but people have been requesting for me to do that as well. I forgot the name of the movie. Is it a Private something or whatever? There's John Wick, as you guys know. This is no brainer. I have recommended that you guys go ahead and pick this movie up. This is a true native 4K with HDR. Yerk. No, I'm not gonna do that, man. Why don't I let Joe 1316 Killer do a justice? I'm not doing justice for that, man. You know, when it comes to Yerk, he owns him. That's his bitch, so let him do it. Underworld, it's another one that I also recommend. This is a very stellar transfer. Considering this movie, it's an old movie, obviously, and they did a pretty good job remastering this one. It looks pretty good, man. Now, here's the movie that no one seems to be talking about. No one seems to be mentioning it. If you guys truly want to experience HDR, like colors popping out like freaking crazy, you guys need to try this out, man. Dirty Sprite, you got to try this out, man. You got to try out the Pacific Rim. Pacific Rim, this thing looks unbelievable, man. Hold on, let me focus the damn camera. Pacific Rim, you got to check this out, man. Pacific Rim is just stellar. This looks great on HDR. Suicide Squad, I don't know how to feel about Suicide Squad, man. It's... I mean, it looks good, and HDR does pop out in certain scenes, but it's a very dark movie, man. It's a very dark movie. It's set in Gotham, Gotham City, so it's a very dark movie, but there's some scenes in the movie that truly pop out with color and everything. So It's a good 4K. Obviously, if you're a fan of the movie, you're gonna go with the 4K version, all right? XMen The Apocalypse. How do I feel about the XMen Apocalypse in 4K? I've done a review. I think I've done plenty of reviews on this movie. This is no brainer. You gotta pick this up, man. The X-Men Apocalypse. I definitely say pick this up. X-Men Apocalypse, man, for sure. Definitely pick that up. Let's see what else we got. Batman v Superman. You know, I really liked this movie, man. I thought it was a really good movie, man. And especially this extended version looked really good. I know this movie got a lot of crap from some people, from some, comic book fans, but I really liked it, man. I really liked it. I thought, what's his name? Ben Affleck did a fantastic job as Batman. And of course, she did a great job as well, too. What's her name? I feel like an idiot for not knowing people's names. How dare you, Mr. 4K Upscale? You should be ashamed of yourself. Gadette, what's her name? I'm butchering the names. I'm sorry. Anyway, the Wonder Woman. She'll forever be a Wonder Woman. I know she was in Fast and Furious a little bit, but forever she'll be known as Wonder Woman. That's it. And she's a great actress, man. I know she's from Israel, but she's a great actress, man. Definitely a great actress. The Revenant. Look, what can I say about The Revenant? Okay, this is what I'm going to say about The Revenant. If you have a 4K player, or if you have an Xbox One S player, and you don't have this, you don't own this, then you should be ashamed of yourself. You need this. This is the first movie you need to pick up. Okay, The Revenant. It looks looks spectacular, man, in 4K HDR. Oh, unbelievably. It feels like you're there, man. And Mr. Struders, man, I need you to make a video if you can and show me how this thing looks on OLED. Man, I would love to see The Revenant on OLED. I mean, if you can't do it, that's fine, man. And, whenever I get my OLED TV, I'm going to do that comparison between the two. If you're worried about the copyright, just make sure with Fox, don't show too many scenes for too much of long period of time. What you need to do is turn off the volume. And, they'll be okay with that. Now, The Martian is another good pick. If you want to pick it up, The Martian looks great. This is the first movie I picked up when I got my 4K player. This is, I would say, a second movie I would pick to show off HDR. Actually, excuse me, I would say this is a third movie I would pick up to show off HDR. The second movie I would pick up to show off HDR would be Life of Pi, man. This thing, oh, dude. Life of Pi, it's unbelievably great. And now this is the director that Ang Lee, and there was a movie that he did, a war movie, man, and it was kind of half-assed advertised. People didn't talk about it too much. I guess some controversy or something in that film. But someone told me you need to check that movie. Like, it looks fantastic, like on HDR and 4K. If you do me a favor. If you can remember the name of that movie, Vin Diesel's in it. It's not Saving Private Ryan. It's the brand new movie in Iraq. Vin Diesel was kind of like in it a little bit. It's not about him. He's just a supporting role. If you can let me know what the name of that movie is, I would appreciate it. It's by this director right here, Ang Lee. He did it. He directed it. Here we go. Star Trek Into Darkness. Oh yeah, you want to pick this up. Star Trek Into Darkness looks great. I think I already did a review on this movie, on this 4K title. It looks fantastic, man. Now, granted, I haven't reviewed all of these movies. There's a bunch of movies that I should review. Like I said, I will do Arrival and Hacksaw Ridge. They'll be done as well. And now let's move into Man of Steel. Now, Man of Steel, it's another great 4K transfer. Obviously, it looks fantastic. The colors truly pop out, like on the suit. When he starts wearing the suit, and then destruction of the city, Metropolis, and then Zod. I mean, there's so many cool scenes in this film. It's such a remarkable, great film, and truly pops up with color. Man of Steel, you definitely want to pick that up. Here's another movie. X-Men. Days of Future and Past. Oh, this looked great, man. It's as good of a transfer as The Apocalypse. I mean, it's really good. I highly recommend you pick this up. You know, definitely a look. Especially if you're a fan of the movie, you want to pick this up. This is a great 4K HDR example. As a matter of fact, when they were first introducing the 4K players, they were advertising, the Fox was advertising the X-Men Days of Future. So you want to pick this up. Now, here's one of my, I would say, favorites, man. Sicario. Man, I love this movie. And it's funny, Sicario, it's really kind of inspired the Ghost Recon, focus, you idiot, focus. Ghost Recon Wildlands, it's really inspired by the Sicario. And if you guys don't know what the Sicario is, I suggest you watch the movie. I don't want to spoil it for you. They clearly explain that. It's a great movie, man. This is the same guy that did the Arrival. So it's the same director. Now, by the way, that director is getting nominated for an Oscar. So we'll see if he wins. I think the Oscars are this Sunday, right? I don't know, maybe. Mad Max Fury Road. I think I've done a lot of videos on this, man. I think I did. This is no brainer. You know, you want to get this. You know, if you want to buy a 4K and you have a 4K HDR TV, this is a must-have that you gotta have to show off that wide color gamut, man. This movie pops out of color, so you definitely want to have this. This is no brainer right here. Mad Max Fury Road. Here's another movie that I definitely also recommend, Lucy. Regardless of how you feel about the movie, some people say it was a too short movie. I say this is a great transfer, great showcasing by Universal Studios. This was their first movie they released on Universal. Because, you know, later on, last year, I think it was September or November, later last year, they did it. And Universal jumped on the board and they started releasing Lucy and Oblivion. And looks great, man. Looks great. By the way, speaking of Universal, they're dropping their prices down. So now all of their 4K movies are $19, $20, which is great. I'm glad that Universal is doing that. That's a pretty cool deal. Hopefully other studios will learn and move it from 30 to 20. Okay, you can get a Battleship for like $17, which is something I need to get. I need to get that movie as well. Now, Star Trek. Here's the thing about Star Trek. The movie was, 2008? 2007? Something like that, right? 2008. Okay. I think so. It was 2008. The detail, you definitely notice the resolution. You know, the resolution definitely pops, you know. Has a nice upscale resolution on there. But, the HDR wasn't that impressive on this film because of the lens flare that J.J. Abrams liked to use. Those lens flare that just killed the HDR. And that grain film that he was using, that color, I understand he wanted to have a certain feel and look to the movie, but I wouldn't say that Star Trek necessarily it's a great HDR, you know, demo. It still has HDR. You're still going to see some colors pop here and there, but there's a lot of lens flares, which I hate, his lens flares. But you'll definitely will notice a sharp resolution, sharp, vivid images, higher bit rate, you know, higher bit rate codec. So, yeah, if you're a fan of Star Trek, you're definitely going to pick this up. But don't expect it to be like, wow, you know. Oblivion, surprisingly, man, really looked good. But I wasn't surprised because the guy that directed this film also did the Disney's Tron Legacy. Oh, by the way, Disney, when you're going to start releasing your 4K movies, okay? I thought maybe they're going to release Doctor Strange on 4K and that Star Wars Rogue One to kick off their, you know, 4K extravaganza. Seriously, Disney, what the hell's going on? 2017 already and you haven't jumped on board with 4K? Come on. Disney, Mickey Mouse, Marvel. Come on. Star Wars, Marvel. I mean, they're like holding monopoly. They're gonna pretty soon own everything. Here we go. That's it. Oblivion looks great. HDR definitely pops up on this movie. The bit rate, it's very stellar. It's very strong, man. This is a great 4K movie to own as well. Ender's Game is it's another example of really good stellar HDR representation of a movie. There's certain scenes in this film that are just look very nice and very vivid, and HDR truly pops on. I would say this is a Lionsgate stellar edition, and also has Dolby Atmos. So if you have a Dolby Atmos receiver, you're in luck. So definitely, this is a great job. I think it's no, it's Summit. I'm sorry, it's the Summit Entertainment, the entertainment that brought us the John Wick. This is the same studio. I like Summit, man. They're pretty good. They need to get more recognition. This is a great studio here, Summit. Focus, you idiot. Focus. Summit Entertainment. There it is. Right there. Again, this is great. You need to pick this up. The Last Witch Hunter, it's one of those movies where I could have watched the film and I couldn't tell you what the hell it was all about. It was one of those movies that was just like something, I guess, Vin Diesel needed the paycheck or what, I don't know. It was one of those things where Vin Diesel just was asked a favor to do for somebody and like, can you please just be in this movie, dude, whatever. But the movie was like, okay, it sucked. Let's face it, the movie sucked. But it looks really great, man. This is another great demo to show off the HDR and 4K. You know, the movie sucks, but definitely it's something great to show off on your TV. You'll definitely see a difference. All right, Deadpool. Deadpool, you definitely need to go and buy this movie. Just the fact that it's a cool movie. And HDR looks fantastic on this, man. It's really good. There's certain scenes in the movie that just looks great. So yeah, definitely pick this up. Now this one I haven't seen yet. I haven't reviewed yet, so I don't know yet. I haven't even opened that yet, so I don't know. The Kingsman, I need to review this. Secret Service. Same thing with the Chappie. I haven't reviewed the Chappie yet. Look, I haven't even taken it out of the box, man. I haven't even reviewed it yet. Chappie, I need to review the Chappie. So still got some movies I need to review. And San Andreas, surprisingly, it looks great, man. Like the HDR on this movie looks really good as well. The resolution, it's very stellar, a very high bit rate. And I heard from people who have Dolby Atmos, this movie sounds really good, man. All right, and the last but not least, Fantastic Four. Fantastic Four, you know, a lot of people hated on this movie, but I found it entertaining, dude. I found it much better than the previous Fantastic. And there's scenes in this movie that just look amazing on HDR. There's some scenes that look just really good. But I might do a proper review on this as well. You guys have to remember, doing reviews on these films, it's very tricky because the way some studios, they have their copyright things set up. All right, so there you have it. Dirty Sprite, total of 26 4K movies, and maybe tomorrow I'll have 28 to 30. So it's a pretty hefty collection of 4K movies for a guy who calls himself Mr. 4K Upscaler. There you go. All right, so this video was really for Dirty Sprite. Now we're gonna get back to a HDR analysis on Ghost Recon Wildlands. Okay, and I'll explain to you what the HDR analysis is. All right, guys, take care.